things. But can I tell you today that your success is not only dependent on your natural abilities, but it also depends on what you allow yourself to think about, what you allow yourself to nourish in your life on a daily basis. So you have to be intentional about what you let in here, what you let in here. It also depends on whether or not you grasp hold of the opportunities that are presented to you. You have heard all throughout this training, there have been opportunities. People have talked about weekly trainings for your team. Are you taking advantage of that? They've talked about their mentorship team. Are you taking advantage of that opportunity that's given to you? They've talked about convention, awaken. These are all things that have been offered to you, opportunities that you need to seize those opportunities. Because I know for myself, I always want to hope and to strive for the highest and best version of myself. I want to show up the best I can show up. Do I always do that? No. But that is my goal, to always show up in my best. So stop thinking and playing small. You're thinking and playing too small for your business, for your family, for your personal health, for your business health, for all of those things. I love this quote by Marianne Williamson, and many of you have heard it. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will not feel insecure around you. If my pursuing the best version of myself makes other people feel uncomfortable, that's not my issue. I am going to pursue the best version I can be. It says, we are all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. And as we are liberated from our fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Can I tell you, when you decide to lay aside the excuses, lay aside the fear, lay aside the insecurity, lay aside the negative narrative that's going on in your brain, you actually give those people around you, you give your family, your children, your neighbors, your coworkers, all of those people, you give them permission to do the same. They get permission to step out of fear when they see you overcome fear. They get permission to go beyond what they thought was possible. And the things that you allow in your mind to dwell on will inevitably bring you either to failure or to success. So you must believe in yourself and what God says about you. Everybody said that. And I told you in the beginning, you're going to hear, because faith fuels many of us. And that is what we contribute our success to. So you want to know how we are successful? This is me personally. How I reach success is I believe what God says about me. He says that I am more than a conqueror. I can overcome. Romans 8:37 says that, if you want to look it up. And for me personally, you'll see on this sign right behind me, because I do a Facebook vlog called The Breathing Room. And it's all about it, and it's devotions and everything. So if you tune into that, that's what you're going to get. But it's called The Breathing Room because Job 33:4 says, the Spirit of God has made me, but the breath of the Almighty gives me life. He is what fuels me in the morning time. And that's why Acts 17:28 tells me, in him we live and move and have our being. And so for me, all of those scriptures literally tell me that if I fill my mind with all that God says I am, and I open the back door of my brain and kick out the lies and the negativity, and then I refill my brain with the truth of who he says that I am, that when my feet hit the floor in the morning, watch out, because I am going to accomplish great things. I am going to accomplish my goals. I'm showing up to slay my goals and conquer my fears. I'm showing up to reach new levels of success that I ever thought or dreamed possible, because I am destined for purpose and greatness, and the world is waiting for me to step up into my calling and create change and make an impact that only I can, because I'm called to do it that day. See, I am worthy. I tell myself I'm worthy, my voice matters, and I bring value to others. If you feel that deeply today, put a 1 in the chat. If you needed to hear that today, just put a 1 in the chat, because you have to speak. You have to build yourself up in your faith. Because remember, every day you are demonstrating success or failure in your actions and what you speak. And so here's where I'm going to step on some toes, okay? Get rid of oversensitivity. Ouch, right? We're all a little bit oversensitive sometimes. Sometimes I wake up and I'm just in an attitude of offense. I'm just in an attitude of oversensitivity. People hurt my feelings. People may say something that I don't like, but get rid of oversensitivity. Every time you allow yourself to be oversensitive in your emotions, it disconnects you from peace. And we need to walk in peace. Isaiah 26:3 says, he will keep in perfect peace whose minds are steadfast because they trust him. Keep your mind steadfast on what matters. Keep your mind steadfast on your goals. Because when oversensitivity tries to overtake you, stop entertaining it. Just stop. Take responsibility. Stop blaming others. Own it, conquer it, and make yourself aware of it. I have to do that. We all do. If you tell me that you never get offended, if you tell me that you never are oversensitive, then I'm just going to have to say, I don't believe you. Because we all have those days. We all walk in that sometimes. But the second thing I want to tell you to get rid of is let go of self-pity. Free yourself of self-pity. Because can I just say something? Can I be real? We all have a story. We all have walked through some trauma. We all have walked through some tragedy. We all have been disappointed. We all have been hurt. All of the things. I am not by any means discrediting your pain, because we have all walked through pain. I have had to overcome some huge storylines in my life. For those of you who don't know, I walked through a cancer diagnosis. I've walked through death in our family. I've walked through infertility at times. I've walked through, these are things that I've walked through, but I don't dwell on. I walked through a cancer diagnosis until God healed me. But in the midst of it, I was going to make my life count. In the midst of it, I was not going to miss the opportunity to shine so that others could be free. You see, we all have a story, but what I want to say to that is self-pity is a drug. It's an addiction. And when we allow self-pity to come in and we get caught in that, it's a spiraling effect that it's hard to get out of. And what I want to say is at some point, our stories have got to stop being our crutches and our excuses to not accomplish our goals, but instead become our testimonies of what we fought through, pushed past, conquered in order to not only survive, but to all out thrive in life. That's what we need. What you go through, Pat always says this, what you go through is a good indication of who you're called to. You know, I posted on the SheEO thread a statement like Dr. Carolyn Leaf, and she said, one day you will tell your story of how you overcame what you're going through now, and it will become part of someone else's survival guide. Your survival, your overcoming will be part of someone else's story of how they could overcome. So what I want to say to you today, if you don't have what you want, if you don't have the success that you're looking for, if you don't have the abilities that you have, that you're wanting, stop blaming other people and confront what is holding you back. And make up your mind that you are going to shift the narrative in your heart and your mind. Start leading from the future. That's one of the things we teach. Start leading from the future, not from your past, and act in the now. Start having conversations from where you desire to be in the future. Our family just went and watched a Broadway play, Hamilton. Don't send me any hate mail if you don't like it or if you don't agree with any of the stuff. We love Broadway plays. And in this Broadway play of Hamilton, it's about history. They sing this song, history has its eye on you. And in the midst of the world that we live in, with all the chaos, with all the confusion, with all the COVID, all the pandemic, all of those things, you have an opportunity to make a difference in the world. And history is watching you. What are you going to do with that opportunity? How are you going to impact the world? Are you going to be a part of the solution or part of the problem? So you have a choice. And the next thing I want to say to you is see your worth. Be nice to yourself. Your inner dialogue has been sabotaging your success. We all want to be successful, but deep down, so many of us feel unworthy of our dreams, unworthy, or we feel guilty of how big our dreams are. Y'all, I'm telling you, Pat and I have some crazy, outlandish, absurd dreams. And I stopped feeling guilty for them a long time ago. Because if those dreams have been placed inside of me, it means that also what has been placed inside of me is the ability to reach them. So I have had to confront those thoughts so many times in my life. I'm an author, so I've wrote books. And so I had to overcome insecurity when that calling came to me. Can I do that? Do I have what it takes? Am I capable? Will anybody read it? I had to overcome that when I speak at conferences. Can I tell you that there was a time in my life where literally I couldn't stand up in front of a crowd and say my name without feeling like I was going to be sick? And there was a joke, like when I first started speaking, Pat would send me a dozen red roses on the day that I was supposed to speak with a bottle of Pepto-Bismol tied around the base, because that's how sick I would get. But I determined that this would be something that I was going to do because I had something worth saying. You have to believe in yourself as a health coach, as having an abundance mindset, because so often we tell ourselves, who am I? How dare I have these huge dreams? No one in my family's ever dreamed like this before. How am I different from them? Why do I deserve that? You deserve to walk in freedom. And we live our lives trying to avoid disappointments, but in reality, my fear of failure is not nearly as strong as my fear of staying exactly the same way as everyone who has gone before me, who never tried anything in order to become something they had never seen before. You understand what I'm saying? How will you ever know what you are capable of if you never leave comfort in order to do something you've never done, to become someone you didn't think was possible? I had this sign that I've showed y'all that says, well-behaved women rarely make history. But one of the habits of transformational leadership is allow the obstacle to become the way. Here's what I know about obstacles. Obstacles reveal your true identity. They don't make you, they equip you. Your issues don't define you, they reveal you. You don't know what you're fully capable of until you feel you're stretched beyond your limits. Number two, obstacles direct your actions. Example, if someone offends you, it allows you the opportunity to practice forgiveness. It's all in how you perceive it. It gives you an opportunity to develop forgiveness in your life. Every problem makes room for a solution. Number three, obstacles make you stronger. Obstacles develop resilience through conquering mountains in your life. Some mountains were meant to be conquered, not moved. Number four, obstacles enable you to focus on what counts. Once you are clear on your goals and your life mission, obstacles look smaller and more manageable because you know where you're going. And number five, obstacles make way for creativity. I was watching yesterday or the other day when I was doing this teaching, and I saw our dog. We have a huge Australian Shepherd, and she loves to chase squirrels. And so we opened the back door and she took off running, and there was a squirrel in the middle of the yard. And she darted straight towards that squirrel. That squirrel had nowhere to go. There was no tree right near it or anything. So that what that squirrel did was it started darting and zigzagging all around until it found the tree to safety. It had to be creative to keep our Australian Shepherd from getting it because she is fast. But when you are faced with an obstacle, it makes room for your creativity to flourish, to become something more than what you had settled for. Because sometimes in order to overcome obstacles, we have to make sacrifices. Like when we were writing a book, We had to stop binge watching Netflix. We had to get to bed earlier in order to get up earlier before everyone else so we could find time to become organized, like Chantel said, in order to write, but not let your family suffer. It took discipline and effort, but is your goal worth pushing through in order to see the dream birthed and grow to full maturity? That's what you have to ask yourself. You have to make sacrifices sometimes in order to do that. But if you want something bad enough, and if your dream is absurdly massive enough, then you will see your worth, believe in yourself, find your strength, awaken the courage within you, challenge your belief system, change your internal narrative, confront your obstacles, and choose to see the beauty in the journey. I'm wearing a necklace that I bought my daughter and I that literally just says, embrace the journey. Because I am a creature of habit and change is hard for me. So I have to constantly remind myself, and I reminded our children all through growing up when we would make moves or we would do something, that life is a great big adventure with God. Embrace every part of the journey, because every part of the journey is part of getting to your destination. Embrace it all. Don't look at it and begrudge it. Just embrace it. Stop thinking small, ladies. You are made for more, unless more is not what you want. Maybe normal is what you want. I don't want normal. Thinking small keeps people in jobs they hate. Thinking small causes you to buy into the lie that retirement from a job that you hate is the prize. That being a slave to someone else's dream for 40 plus years until you're too old to enjoy your own dreams by receiving a happy retirement cake and the pension is the prize. But here's a concept I want to leave you with today. Maybe living your dream is the prize. Maybe living to your full potential and God-given purpose in life is your prize. Making an impact on others and the world is the prize. Maybe having a rich life fulfilled with love, happiness, community, adventure, and abundance is the prize. So quit waiting for opportunity. Thomas Edison said, most people miss opportunity because it's dressed in overalls and looks like work. Just do the work. Put in the effort to see your dreams. I literally wrote, put on the CEO page, Mark Batterson put, if you wait for perfect conditions to seize your opportunity, you will be waiting till the day you die. Don't miss the opportunities. Pat and I have a sign in our house that we live by that simply says, and so together they built a life that they could love. Are you building the life that you could love today? Are you building a life that you can enjoy and be purposeful and fulfilled in? Here's what I want to say to you as we close this Zoom. Make your current normal reality look absolutely absurd to your future purposeful, fulfilled, and successful self. Refuse to think small today.